It's been a fun journey so far, but the Peacocks had their season end of the Elite Eight to North Carolina. The Tar Heels now facing the Blue Devils in maybe the biggest Final Four game of all time. You can watch that one and Kansas-Villanova live on the March Madness Live app. Those games Saturday night, and then the championship game on Monday. Amanda, it is National Championship Monday, and Guster, as we know, is for lovers.
It's Guster's for Lovers Day. I had to decide which way I'm going to say. I'm going to go this way.
There you go. Guster. Look at Norlander.
Is for lovers. This is what stole the spotlight instead of, let me go this way, Coach K and our Matt Norlander.
They did a Q score, and people know Matt Norlander now more than they know Coach K.
They may. Guster, by the way, is a band. We're about to hear from Matt Norlander here in just a second. The national championship going down tonight. Not sure if Guster will make an appearance, but our Matt Norlander will be there along with our Hakeem Dermish.
Guys, thanks. The road ends here. The road to the championship presented by Nissan. It is game day here in New Orleans, and we have got ourselves an amazing matchup here in New Orleans. Kansas and North Carolina, two blue bloods chasing a natty here in New Orleans. And as you take a look at their roads to get here, North Carolina has had the toughest road to get to New Orleans as an 8 seed. Look, there was a time during the season where we weren't sure they were even going to make the NCAA tournament. Mid-February, they had just lost to Pitt. They have won 11 of their last 12. And you look at the first round, a lot of people didn't even have them getting out the first round against Marquette. They beat Marquette. They take out the reigning national champion Baylor Bears, then another Final Four team in UCLA. Then they knock off St. Peter's, the Cinderella of the tournament. Hubert Davis was asked, are you guys on a Cinderella run? He goes, no, we've been to the Final Four 21 times as a program. We're not a Cinderella. Then they knock off Mike Krzyzewski in his final game, ending that storybook ending. And here they are playing for a national championship tonight against Kansas. And Kansas, the only one seed still standing, they have had the easiest path to get here. But you got to win the games. Texas Southern, Creighton, Providence, Miami, and Villanova, their latest test for a chance to win the school's fourth national championship, the second under Bill Self. Hakeem Dermish alongside Kyle Boone, Matt Norlander, Matty at the Natty. And you have quite made a name for yourself here, stealing some headlines with the Guster is for lovers. I just want to get a reaction from you 48 hours after that, because a lot of folks, you know, they may have missed that over the weekend. What's been the reaction since then?
It has been quite unexpected, actually. I've been in frequent contact with the band. The band actually wants to, because I had to cover the sticker for the second half, the band wants to send me a tiny Guster is for Lovers sticker.
A tiny one.
And have me slap it on the front of my laptop for tonight's national championship game. Don't know if I'm going to do that, but they literally have attempted to overnight a tiny Guster is for Lovers sticker. It's just incredible. It was surreal, and you know, again, it was not intentional. I've had this computer, this laptop sticker at the Final Four for like 5 or 6 straight years, but normally the head coach is not sitting directly in front of me, and the fact that it was Mike Krzyzewski's final game, they're going to go to him frequently. It became too big of a deal, but hey, Guster's for lovers.
What's it like for you sitting here next to a celebrity? And this is big time here.
I'm not worthy. They put me in the middle. I think it's because the attention is right here.
Well, the attention will be on the head coaches tonight, Hubert Davis and Bill Self. Matt, I'll start with you. What would a national championship mean for Hubert Davis?
Well, I think that if UNC won and Hubert Davis, first of all, I was talking with some folks on Sunday night. Hubert Davis might just retire. Like it would be the most incredible thing ever if you were to win the national championship in your first season as a head coach, doing it the way you would have done it if they can get the win tonight, beat Duke twice. Walk off with the winning record against Duke. He'll forever have a winning record against Mike Krzyzewski, and then win a national championship as an 8 seed. I'm obviously saying this in jest, but it would be unbelievable. You can see the list here. Hubert Davis would become the first coach ever to do this in an entire season. As you can see the note at the bottom of the screen there, Steve Fisher did do it, but he was an interim. He was not a full-time head coach. Hubert Davis would set some history there, and it would be quite the incredible story. We're basically at, a year to the day since Hubert Davis was named the head coach at North Carolina. It actually happened on National Championship Monday a year ago when the Final Four in the title game happened in Indianapolis. So the fact that he is here 1 year later, absolutely no one had it, and it would be it's going to be a great story no matter who wins. But if Hubert Davis did it in his first season, Roy Williams is going to be on hand.
Yep.
This is the Roy
Williams Bowl.
Well, I mentioned this in my column for CBSSports.com today. Mike Krzyzewski had the farewell tour. But how about the fact that this is really the unofficial Roy Williams special, his send-off, because he coached at Kansas, coached at Carolina. He'll be in the building tonight. I think that's a fun little twist of fate.
Yeah, Hubert Davis and Bill Self replacing Roy Williams at both those schools, Kansas and North Carolina. Look, it's a big deal to win one national title. But Bill Self has been at Kansas for 19 seasons. This is a shot here to get 2 and really go and take another level in this college basketball history in terms of what he means. He's already a Hall of Famer. Kansas, the all-time winningest program in college basketball history, overtaking Kentucky during this tournament. What would it mean for Bill Self and the Kansas program?
Be huge for Kansas. Bill Self is a Hall of Famer. He's a legend. He's only got one national championship, and that was in 2008. He's lost in one national championship in 2012. Getting over the hump this year in this NCAA tournament, I think, would be huge for Kansas. Their path to get here has not been very impressive. But this team seems to be peaking at the right time. They've got a great matchup against North Carolina. They're going to be the favorite. It would be huge for Self's legacy, for Kansas, especially with potential NCAA sanctions coming down the pike.
Can they get a repeat performance from David McCormick and Ochai Agbaji? Because that performance that they put on against Villanova was incredible.
Yeah, look, I think McCormick's going to be key in this game because Armando Bacot, 43 rebounds the last 2 games for North Carolina. He has been beasting just about everyone. Bacot comes into this game obviously injured. McCormick's going to be key in this game. Had 25 points, 9 rebounds in the Final Four on Saturday. If he can replicate or even get close to that tonight against Monday, I think that is going to be the swing matchup that decides this national championship.
Yeah, Armando Bacot tasked with trying to contain David McCormick, who had a season high in points in that game, 8 of 10 from the floor, hitting high percentage shots. I mean, he was impressive in that game. Matt, when you talk about players to watch, there's a lot of them that are going to play critical roles in this game. Who's the player you got your eye on?
I got my eye on Jalen Wilson because I think, again, he can be an X-factor type. He's long. You got to figure with Jalen Wilson's length, I think there's a good chance that he can get assigned to guard multiple players in this game. Maybe Brady Manick, I think will need to go for more than 14, which is what he had Saturday night against Duke. Wilson is a really, really good rebounder and is certainly capable on a given night of being anywhere from Kansas' second best player. Agbaji is obviously number 1 there. To sometimes he kind of fades into the background. He might not wind up being, the 3rd, 4th, 5th best guy there, but he is the X factor to me. He's capable of doing so many different kinds of things, a lot of the little things, but also the big things as well. And his defensive assignment in particular, I will be interested to watch. I could see him guarding Manick plenty because he's 6'8". I could also see him being assigned to Caleb Love as well, depending on how hot Love gives. So keep an eye out on Jalen Wilson in this one. He's the non-star that I think has the best chance on the Kansas side to be a big-time factor.
Yeah, and Hubert Davis said Saturday night after beating Duke, their goal was to keep Duke out of transition. They wanted to make Duke take tough, contested, outside shots. If they're able to do that tonight against Kansas, I think the X factor is going to be Remy Martin. He had 3 points in the Final Four on Saturday. He's averaging a team-high 14 points per game in this NCAA tournament. Coming off the bench for Kansas, his shot-making, his speed has been critical to Kansas's run. I would imagine he has a bounce-back game in this one. If North Carolina is able to make this a half-court game and make Kansas play out of the half-court, Remy Martin's going to have a huge game for Kansas, and I would imagine that's the case tonight.
Yeah, Matt, what does that say to you that they didn't need a whole lot of production from Remy in the Final Four? They relied on your guy Jalen Wilson, and they didn't need him to come in and get big minutes and big points.
It's not terribly surprising, Hakeem, because Remy Martin was a role player supreme for most of the regular season. He wound up having a pretty good NCAA tournament so far to this point. But for him to not have had a huge night on Saturday, not terribly surprising. It could be, listen, this could be the Remy game later. I love this graphic here. Absolutely. He has been in this tournament, Remy. You can see where he stacks up historically. Oh, by the way, Dante DiVincenzo at the top of that list. He had a humongous title game, and that helped Villanova clinched in 2018. I could see a DiVincenzo-esque performance from Martin tonight.
Yeah.
Would not stun me. I actually think because Leaky Black is such a good defender, and he'll be assigned to Abaji, that I think Kansas is going to have to get production elsewhere. I don't think Abaji's getting the looks he got on Saturday.
Yep.
So because of that, Remy Martin could wind up being a pretty big factor here. But it's a good thing for Kansas that, they don't absolutely have to rely on him, but he'll probably need to be a little more productive tonight than he was Saturday.
You mentioned a matchup there, Ochai Agbaji, Leaky Black. That's a matchup to watch. Is that your matchup to watch tonight?
It is a matchup to watch, but I'm actually I have to go with the bigs here because of how good David McCormick was. So the David McCormick Armando Bacot matchup is the one to keep an eye on. Bacot, he's going to be good to go. But how healthy is he? How much can he go? He seemed fine sitting at a dais on Sunday for his media availability, but he wasn't exactly playing a basketball game. So Bacot's ability to stay in, how many minutes he can give, and then McCormick, he hasn't had 3 consecutive games this season where he has scored 15 or more points. He might need to do that here. It would be 3 consecutive games if he did it on Monday and do it for the first time this season. Bacot's the better player. McCormick has had some huge opportunities throughout the season, and he's had his spots here, KB, but it's a tough one. Bacot's the better player, but I get the sense that if Kansas is going to win, McCormick's going to have to play at a B level or better, and I get the sense that might actually wind up happening tonight.
That's the huge question, I think, coming into this game. How effective can Armando Bacot be in this matchup? Obviously not at 100%. He's had 43 rebounds the last 2 games, and he went right at Mark Williams and Duke. And Mark Williams was in foul trouble that entire Final Four game. Theo John was in foul trouble that entire Final Four game. If McCormick is not able to stay on the floor for Kansas, then Kansas is absolutely going to be in trouble. If Armando Bacot is close to 100%, he's going to go right at David McCormick, and that's going to be a problem, I think, for Kansas. That's the swing matchup that I think is going to decide this game tonight.
Yeah, and you got to be able to take your emotions into consideration. You got to be able to keep your emotions in check because essentially North Carolina has to win 2 national championships here, right? I mean, beating Duke, that was like winning a national championship. But now you got to beat Kansas for the actual national championship. What do our guys think? Coming up on the other side, we've got predictions. Kansas and North Carolina playing for the Natty tonight. You can watch it on TBS. You can also watch it on the March Madness Live app. Wherever you go, maybe you got to get in the car, maybe you got to go somewhere. You can put it on your phone, on your iPad, whatever it is, your device. You can watch on March Madness Live the Final Four to the national championship here in New Orleans tonight in New Orleans.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.